Hi, everyone, and welcome to another live trading series. Today is Friday, May 20th. I have the day off, so my boss can't get mad at me for trading between 9 to 5. Before we get started, I'd just like to point you to my Patreon page. I have a private Discord server. It's $5 a month. There's around 42 people. If you want to chat with other options traders, it doesn't necessarily have to be Canadian. If you want to talk about anything options, you can join. You can chat with me and a few other, let's say 42, 41 other options traders. I'm going to make a video today just rolling a few options. Earlier this week, I released a video without much thought and I just started trading. It was like a 25-minute video and people seem to have liked it. They like to see my thought process. So I'm going to just walk through a bunch of trades and what I might do, what I might not do. And I guess this will be another longer one. I'll try a few longer videos just to see if people like it and just kind of talking through what's going on. I'm going to try to make it more basic because everyone says my videos are too confusing. So I'm going to point everyone to optionstrat.com. I play around with this for graphs, for charts, just to break down what I'm doing. Starting off with Tesla. So if we go to Tesla, let's go to strategy. I do a lot of trades on Tesla because I like it. So what I did earlier this week, check it out. I sold a credit spread. So this means, this is a vertical put credit spread. It has many names. What this means, by May 20th, I think Tesla will be 650 or above. But if you're wondering, why do I have this 550 put? Because of margin requirements. I don't have enough buying power to sell a Tesla like a cash secured put because it needs 65,000 US cash. And I have that cash allocated other places. So what I do, let me just make sure my sound is working. It's not muted. So what I do is you buy protection. Buying a put is protection. So if it goes below 550, I can't lose any more money. I can't be any extra money. This is my protection because anything under 550, I can force someone to sell me shares at 550. So here, 650, someone can force me to buy shares of Tesla at 650. So you're like, hey, what if, Tesla goes to zero? Tesla could go to zero, but I have this. I can force someone to sell me shares at 550. So here I'm forced to buy. Here I can force someone to. I think I messed that one up, but this is my protection. So if we look at it right now, so what did I do? I sold it for 496, bought this for 483. My total gain right now is around 370 and there's 0 days to expiration. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close this one out and then open a new one. I don't want to risk Tesla going to, after hours dropping below 650. So don't aim for max profit. Just close it out when you're profitable. So what I will do, let me just go like this, closing it out. Fine. I should get some buying power back. This should close right away because I kind of did at market, right? Anyway, I'm going to open a new one and I'll show you what I have lined up. So I'm going to sell for next week. Why didn't it close? That's so weird. And I'll show you what I've done for next week. So here I have it kind of lined up. So this is a bull put spread. It has many names. It does get kind of confusing. So I am selling the 600, buying the 500 as protection. So you see the previous one I had was 650, 550. So now I'm moving it down. I can follow the price down for Tesla. And I'm only doing for 7 days. My risk is if Tesla goes below 600, I'll start losing. My max loss is if it goes to 500 or below by next Friday. Hopefully I can manage it a little earlier. So what this should pay me is $349. What I'm risking is $10,000, which is a lot. So if we go here, I'm making $349 and I'm risking $10,000. So I'm making 3.5% for 7 days. Not bad, but it is risky. It's there for a reason. My max loss is $9,651, which is the $10,000 margin used, less the credit I received. My break even is $596, which is $600 less $349. The reason why these are in hundreds, it does get kind of confusing. every dollar must be times 100 because it's an option. So I'm going 100 strikes wide. So 100 times 100, which gives me my max loss. 600 minus 500. I'm 100 strikes wide, and you have to go times 100 because every option is 100 shares. So this is my max loss at $10,000. And then I made 349 max loss. This is realistic. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this trade. I've been doing weekly spreads on Tesla for I don't know, like a year and a half, and they've worked out pretty well so far. This hasn't closed. How annoying. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sell 2 because I have the buying power for it. And my Tesla is going down. So my income should be $1,000, a little above $1,000. So here I am using $20,000 of buying power minus the 1,000 I've just made, and I'm going to sell this. So that is $1,000. Hopefully I can close it for 50%. The reason why I'm selling 2 contracts and not my max, so I leave buying power in case I need to manage. So I can, what can I do? I can sell up to 5 contracts max. See, you got filled. I can sell up to 5 contracts max, but I don't want to sell that right away. If Tesla drops to 600 on Monday and I start to panic, I can roll it down. I can roll down to 550. I can roll down to 500, but I have to do it by increasing contracts. Is that the smartest thing to do? No. Is it what I do? And has it been working? Yes, it works until it doesn't. Let's look at what else I have. What else do I have? Okay, so this is frustrating. I have this leap on Tesla. So something happened to Questrade where it doesn't bring up my preferences and everything I've been doing. Kind of annoying. Going to go back to Tesla. What is this 900 call? I'm not really sure. What is happening here? It's grouping a bunch of things together. I'm going to let this expire. It's grouping a bunch of things together. So this is my Tesla Leap. I previously was up 100,000 US on it, and now it's down to 7,000. Kind of annoying, but what can you do? Because Tesla has been dropping. But I've been selling weekly covered calls on it. Hopefully I can make like 500 a week or so. So let's go to Tesla. This is my covered call. So I will sell a week out. And then hopefully I can make 500. So if I go down, I think 770 was my aim. Let's go 775, I guess. So I should be making for 7 days, 555. Let's sell the midpoint. You're creating a new short position. What? Why is it showing me this? I know this. That was so weird. Why is it doing that? So I think what I need to do is close out my current one. I'm like learning on the job, even though I've been doing this for years. So what you have to do so you don't lose money, close out your previous one, sell a new. So I'll sell it out for 1 week. And then we said 775. Fine. Cool. So this should give me 5. I don't know. Okay. Keeps going down. Try to find the midpoint. That's kind of annoying. It keeps moving. So let's go 564. The reason why it doesn't have an increase in buying power because this is indirectly covered. And I will break that down to you once it gets filled. Positions. Accepted sell. I have no idea what's going on here. Vertical put buy. I am buying to close and it is not working, which I will figure out why. So here, let's take a look at this. Since I don't have the shares, so this is not technically a covered call. This is called a poor man's covered call. So what you do is you buy a long dated call, so a leap. So what happens by next Friday, May 27th, if Tesla is 775 or above, someone can force me to sell them shares. Why would they do this? If Tesla goes to 900 by next week and someone had purchased this from me, they can buy Tesla at 775, even though it's worth 900. So they're already in the money by $125. That's $12,500. Remember, every option is 100 shares. So if you're up by 125, that's 12,500. That is the risk they take. I do not think it'll be above 70 to 75 by next Friday. So that's why I do this. Now you're wondering, hey, you don't have the shares. How will you cover? So on the flip side, I bought a 300 strike call like 2 years ago. So I can force someone to sell me Tesla shares at 300, if that makes sense. So right now, so I paid 33,500 for it. Right now it's worth $41,000. So I am up. It was worth 100,000 US at one point, but Tesla's going down. You know, that's not a big deal. I don't care too much about the value of this going up because I plan to keep it. I don't plan to sell it or close it out. What I do like is making 500 a week on this. I was previously making like 1,000 a week, but the volatility kind of changed. I'm going a little safer, I guess. So I made, let's say, 1,000 US on the verticals that I just sold. And now I made another 500 here. So that is 1,500 that I should be making. Hopefully I can close them out early. Some of them I do get lucky. If you take a look at this one, I am pretty lucky. Wow, Tesla's going down, so I have to close this one out. What is happening? That's what's happening. I'm getting a little nervous. Let me modify this. So I ended up closing that one out. I'm not sure what happened. Let's go back to a few other trades I have. I have Square. So I showed a little earlier in the week rolling out Square, rolling it down. So I sold a naked option, naked call, just to roll it down here. Hopefully I can do that again. Roll it down a few dollars every time. Again, I'm going to let this one expire because I don't think Square will go up to, what is it? I don't think Square will go up to 90 something by the end of the day. Hopefully I can roll it, continue rolling it down. Right now it's 86. I rolled from 105 to 99, 97, 95. I can continually doing this. Eventually I will have to accept shares and just start selling calls. The income I do think would be good, and I'll have to do the same with AMD. So AMD, I do have this expiring the end of the day. I did the same thing. AMD, I can probably roll it down again by selling another one. So right now, I financed rolling it down by selling naked calls. So I sold them for $81. Right now they're worth $4. Maybe I can do this. Maybe should I do this right now? I don't know if I can do this next week. So let's do this. I'll buy these to close, and if I could sell another call and another put, 6 options every time. So let's say here, let's try to roll down the puts on the same day. So if I sell, like 105s, is that too risky? Right now AMD is 95, so it could go up 10%, yes. That's what it did on me the other day. So if we roll down from 103, just so I don't get assigned, if we roll down to 100, would I be happy with that? Yeah, that's not working. That's way too much. Yeah, I don't know. This is not as good as I thought. Maybe I'll wait until Monday, I believe. I probably have to roll further out in time, like if I go another week. That's the only way. Yeah, so it reduces kind of my loss. So I can only go down like $2 at a time. Yeah, I'll have to go down $2 at a time. I can't do anything more, which is fine. With VIX being at this level, you can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money selling options on safer stocks like Microsoft and Apple, which I do. I want to see if it's worth it to begin with. Like if we go Apple, if we go, I don't know, do I want to do a week? Like 138 is pretty good. If we want Apple at like a 20 delta, which is not here. I hate how it lost my options, but that's annoying. Let me try to adjust this. Delta. Fine. If we go to 20 delta, that's way too close. Like, yeah, there's not, I don't know, I'd go 10 delta and be making slightly over 1%. So if they went down a little over 10% in a month, which could happen. Like Apple has been going down, so you'd get Apple shares at 122. I'm not sure when I enter that yet, but it is something you could be interested in. Like if you sell for 30 days, like the 125, you'd be making 1.5% for a month, which is good. If you do that every month, you get 18% a year. You could look at something like Microsoft, which has been doing a lot better. So Microsoft, if I aim for like the 240, so delta would be 240. Okay, I guess I'd go 235. Again, you'd be making like 1.5% if you have the cash for it, if you're selling a cash secured put. If you want something like Nvidia, we could take a look at the mistakes I've been making on Nvidia if you'd like. So I'm going to accept Nvidia shares right now. I've been doing poor man's covered call on Nvidia as well. You could see the value of my leap went down because my timing is perfect. So down $20,000 here, which I have another year and a half on this. So I'm not too upset, slightly annoyed at the timing, but what can you do? So I've been slowly clawing back at this loss by selling trades like this. So you see here, I'm up $500. So every week, hopefully if I could claw back $500 every time, I should be okay eventually. Hopefully the market will come back. It can't continue to drop forever, I guess. Let's take a look at what I can do here. Diagonal call. So again, I have two options on this because I sold two. And you have to buy back the exact one you sold and then roll it out. So if we sell, do I sell a month out? I'm not sure if I want to go that far. Let's see what a month brings. A month at 200 because they've been dropping. I don't think this will bring much money at all. Yeah, so I could be making $500 every time. Who knows? Let's look at what Nvidia is. If we look at a month out, I don't do weekly because sometimes it's just too much to manage, and I'm just too busy at work. So if we go 200, so that is the 20 delta. This is the delta. We could go 195 just to make slightly more. Let's go 195. So what I'm doing here, I'm slowly clawing back at my loss. Let's just go market to get it filled. So even though it says I'm making 688, overall I'm down. 20,000, but I've been selling, I don't know. I have to see what's happening here. If we go down, I've been monitoring here Nvidia. So I've been selling, what have I made? Yeah, so I haven't been keeping track. I will need to update this. I'm not going to update it live because that's kind of boring, but I'll go back to February and I'll update all the weekly ones I've been making. So you see how much I've been making initially. So I made 1,000 and then 500. So hopefully we'll see how much I've made back from that $20,000 loss. I'm guessing I made $5,000 back in 3 months so far. So in a year, if Nvidia hovers at this price, I should make my entire 20,000 back, and then hopefully I'll be profitable from there. I know it's frustrating, but look, there's nothing I could do. What I'm going to do is probably accept these puts, so I do have the cash for it. I could try rolling it out. I don't know. Do I want to do that? Like do the same thing, and just instead of owning shares, just continually do those trades I've been making. What am I trying to say? Just selling cash secured puts would be all options, no shares. So if I buy this back, let's just see if I could play around with it. Buy back. So these expire today. So I have to make a decision in like 2-3 hours what I want to do. So I roll out 1 week. 1 week, if I could roll down, what, $5? Or $2.50? That's funny. And I will sell naked calls for next week. Let's say 175. If I could break even somehow. Yeah, so I could make money, but I probably have to go a little safer if I want to do something like that. So it's at 165. Could it go up to, yeah, it's dropping right now. I think I'll just roll out further in time and then kind of deal with it in the future. Something I could do is roll out another month for $5. That's not much. So I could roll out another month and then finance it by selling 2 naked calls. So the loss I'd be making up. Let's go a little safer. Let's say 180. I don't know if this is the smartest idea. So I'm rolling down 5 strikes, but I'd only be, I could probably make money on this if we think about it. So if I make a $5 credit on this, so I'm saving myself $1,000. We kind of manage it going from there. Let's just send this. I'm not sure. I don't want another extremely long video, but I'm not sure what else I could do. I'll be accepting a lot of shares. I might be accepting a lot of shares. Like if AMD keeps going down, I am pretty close. Like AMD is at 103. If I could bring it down to 101, right now it's at 95. I could be out of the weeds eventually. If you're looking for option trades to make and you're not sure how it is or what it'll look like, go to build, and then you could say, what does a short put look like? This means you're selling. Short means selling. Long means you're buying. So if you're like, hey, I want to sell AMD a 30-day option. Let's say I want to sell at the 80. What is my income? So I'll make 168. How much margin will I need? $800. Positions 1, like if you want to do more. Max loss, 7,832. Why? 80 strike means you'll be forced to buy at 80, but it's 80 times 100 because it's 100 shares, so $8,000. If AMD goes to 0, you will lose $8,000 offset by the 168 you just made. So 8,000 minus 168, you get 7,832. Your break even is 7,832 because you have to take 168 off of the strike. If you want to, let's say, do a covered call, if you don't understand what a covered call is, if you have 100 AMD shares, let's say you bought AMD and you're like, hey, I want to sell, let's take a June, and you want to sell something like a 110, you're wondering, hey, what is my max gain? What is my max loss? Max loss is if AMD goes to 0, which is fine. How much will you make by selling this is 162. Your break even, if you bought right now, will be 93.95 because AMD is at 95. So you have to take 95 minus the 162. But what if you bought AMD at 80? 85? Oh, okay. So it's not letting me play with the price. This is interesting. But okay, it's only it's only letting you do a covered call assuming you buy it right now. So buy 100 AMD shares at 95 and then sell a 110 at 162. If you were to buy AMD right now at 95 and then sell a 110, you could go even closer. You could sell like a 100 to make even more money. So you're making more on the call, 445, but you're making less on the shares. A covered call means you have 100 shares and you're willing to sell someone 100 shares at a future price at a future date. So you can choose the price you want, obviously in increments of 5. So you can choose 100. If you don't want to lose the shares, go further out in time, further out in the money. But the amount you receive from the option goes down. I like this. You can play around with it. You can see, don't look at these like advanced ones. These are too complicated, but stick with the basics. Cash secured put, covered call. If we look at a covered call on AMD, which is what I like to do, or let's say you want something safer, I think, like Apple. Okay, I want Apple, but I want it at a discount. Right now it's at 139. Let's say by June 17th, I'm okay with buying Apple at 125. Let's take a look at what that'll make us. You'll need 12,500 in collateral because it's 125 times 100. The net credit you'll make from selling this option is $157. Your max loss is 12,343, which is the collateral minus the credit. This is only realized if Apple goes to 0, which I don't think it will. That's why I say it's relatively safe. Who's messaging me? Your profit, this is your max profit. Obviously, you can close it out early. Your break even is 123, which is the strike price minus the credit. This chart, it's looking bad. It's like a straight line because this is your max gain, max loss, which is fine. Can we play around with this? Yeah, I don't really like what this looks like. Who knows? Yeah, so I think that's it. I'm not sure what else to show you. I'm gonna leave it here. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope I'm making these a little more easier for beginners to understand. I kind of like filming these. Like, these are my favorite videos to film. They're just kind of what I'm doing anyways, just like my random trades. I know they are complicated because it is more advanced stuff. People are asking why options weren't in my course. I had to refund one person because they wanted options, but I never said options was in my course. Options I feel like is more advanced, and my course, if we go to Canadian Finance Pro, my course is more for beginners. So I talk about budgeting, credit, investing, beginner to stock market, just anything related to beginner finance. Eventually, I will add options, but that is more in the future. If you want to watch a sample, I am going to change this. I don't like this webinar that I'm doing. I'm going to redo the webinar. But right now, if you could sign up, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and tune into the next one.